Good morning, everyone. How is everyone doing today? It's been a day. Nana is here. Go open the door. Yeah. So last night's stream, just have one thing to say before we get into this. Last night's stream was supposed to be fun and not make me have to justify my intelligence level. Slightly irked, but that's okay. Like, tell me how you really feel. No one wants to fucking know. Like, how is everybody doing? I was up for half the night. My insomnia kicked my ass last night, so I'm exhausted. And I got to thinking. Probably got to overthinking, but the fact that I got to think. And King Paco, I want to apologize to you. I was sent a screen recording of somebody's stream last night, and you were pretty much insulted because I sent you a link. So I was, lack of a better word, called an idiot, and you were insulted for helping me. And I just want to apologize to you that now you are subject to scrutiny from some people based on the fact that you're nice to me. I apologize to you. Just want to let you know. All right. So we kind of have a rough one to talk about. And this is going to be quick because I don't have the documents yet. He has not been arraigned. The media outlet, the mainstream media outlets have the arrest affidavit. I do not. However, that being said, I do have, I do, hi, beautiful. Did you spill your water? I'll clean it up later. It's okay. Okay. She is working on she's working on drinking from an open cup, and she's carrying it around and it's sloshing everywhere. So if you don't, and there went my breakfast. Yeah. She tried to grab the napkin. Oh, bless your heart, baby girl. I love you. Come here. Kiss. She tried to grab the napkin off my plate because she wanted to wipe up the water she's spilling, because I have a messy child, but a child that likes to help. Well, because a cup like this, she can, and it doesn't spill. Well, she walks around with a cup like this. Hi. And if you didn't know, this is an easy peasy cup. So it is made by sorry, I'm going to give you all a little therapy lesson here. Oh, thank you. She spilled her water and she spilled my food in order to dry up the water. So now I have a wet rag, but a dry carpet. There you go. This is an easy peasy cup. It's tapered on the inside, so it helps prevent spilling when you're drinking. And it also teaches the child that they need to tip their head backwards, because that's kind of the thing we're not figuring out when we get to the bottom of the cup, is to tip our head back. But carrying, so you can see it's tapered and it's weighted on the bottom so that it doesn't, you can see. I love these cups. They were designed by a pediatric speech therapist. And with me being in my OT brain and being extremely knowledgeable in human development and psychology, they're great cups. However, when you go from this and being able to tip it over and not spill it to this, she's spilling it everywhere all the time. It's just water, so it doesn't bug me. I just find it hilarious. But she tried to I have my plate of sausage because I didn't eat breakfast because it's been that kind of a morning. And she likes to clean up after herself. So she tried to take my plate, or the napkin, off my plate so she could clean up the water. So now I have a wet towel in a dry carpet, but good thing I cleaned the floor here last night. Like, yes, and I will be getting new internet this week. I ordered it. It should be here today or tomorrow, and it shouldn't take me that long to set up because it's broadband internet. It's not fucking rocket science, and even I can fucking do that. However, yeah. Yeah. We're just going to not we're just going to not we're just going to not talk. We are talking about the Texas track meet stabbing. And back in the day, I know y'all, a lot of you weren't here when I was doing a lot of you have only seen my What the Hell stuff. And before What the Hells, I used to do a lot of stuff, including politics and explaining why the mainstream media sucks at life and should really just stop existing and stop trying to spin shit because people fall for this. So this is going to be a I just got a an email from the Frisco Police Department for the court documents. But I don't have the arrest record. The mainstream media does, but they don't like to put it in their reporting. Some outlets do, like Utah, their local outlets generally do. Texas does not, and the mainstream media, you know, the mainstream media just sucks at life. But I want to look at what happened, and I also want to look at what is being spun in the media before there is any discovery, any facts. And this is how people try shit in the court of public opinion, and why trying shit in the court of public opinion is the worst thing you can do. I was even on a Facebook page where someone was like, he didn't have a 4.0 GPA, his dad's lying, and I was like, I would like to know the GPAs of both students' actual facts. Someone's like, well, why do you need to know the facts of a murder, or why do you need to know the GPA of a murder victim? He was murdered. Because I like to know facts. So when people spin shit in the media, I can present them with facts and prove them wrong. Just a thought. Wow, we know it's a tease because you said, as you can see, and it froze. Yeah. And my mom got here too, and her cell phone connects to our internet too, so that's probably not helping. Oh, sorry. It's not your fault, Mom. So this is the subject. Carmelo Anthony. Name's not if you know, you know. I'm pretty sure that name was very well thought out and planned, and he was named after somebody. But his middle name is Sincere, which is just ironic to me. All right, so he was arrested for 3. His attorney is Derek Walpole. I will be doing some information or some stuff on his lawyer. This is one of the reasons I want to know facts, because we will see what the media and his family is trying to spin. And I don't care what yeah, that's a good idea. There we go. I don't really care what the media tries to say or what his parents try to say. I only care about facts. And we will see that different media outlets have different facts. And we've done this before where we just compare a few different media outlets and how they report stuff. Because it is telling, to say the least. All right, we have this one. I will share. And I shut down my computer last night, So I didn't get to set all this up like I normally would. So this is the first one I want to share. And I'm just going to take myself off the screen. Well, maybe not. We'll do that. Yeah, it's the all the cameras. It's the uplink that breaks. It's just not fast enough. It was before we had the cameras. It was fine. It did the job. But once there's just too many devices that are on the there's just too many devices that are on the what this can handle. But I had to do some research and search for something that actually works because Mr. Squid doesn't care because it works for what he wants to do. So he doesn't see the issues because when he uses it, it works just fine. It's not about the download speed. It's the upload speed that's the problem. And although I'm not good with like Streamlabs and OBS and stuff like that, I'm not a complete dumb fuck. So I do know computers, some things. I'm just not good with like OBS and streaming apps because it's shit that I never gave two fucks about. So I never gave a shit about learning. When you don't really give a fuck, you don't take the time and effort to learn. Yeah, it's not a it's an issue with that. I'm just going to get new internet because it's not the only problem. It requires new internet. Oh, I'm not. It's it's just I'm just in a mood. So if I ignore chat, I am sorry, but I'm just in a mood. Yeah, I am smarter than that, but we're just not going to we're not going to get into what I believe right now, or what I think, because I know what I know and I don't know what I don't know, and I don't have the effort or the mental capacity or the give a damn. Like I said, when I pay attention to people who don't like me, it's like I don't care because I don't have the bandwidth. I don't have the bandwidth to pay attention and remember shit that really doesn't fucking matter. And before I started streaming, OBS, Streamlabs, how to edit a video did not fucking matter. Like, yeah. And I'm figuring it out, but I'm figuring it out on my own. And not to insult anybody who's tried to help me. I greatly appreciate it, but I have to learn things on my own time and my own way. Kind of like last night where I just wanted to play with buttons, and then someone told me that I wasn't I wasn't using the right things, or I don't have to use the site when I want to. Well, the site was available to me, so I'm gonna fucking use it. So I'm just in a and no, Spawn, you did not have anything to do with said mood. Like, it's insomnia had me up half the night, so I am very sleep deprived. I got about 3.5 hours of sleep last night, and not all at once. The little did not go to sleep until 11 o'clock. And it's just it was just not a fun time. So I am exhausted. And this is not an easy subject to talk about because there is some very uncomfortable things said in some of these reports. And it's just it is just one of those things where it's like, yeah, there's that, but this is why I want the arrest affidavit. And I just got an email from the Frisco PD about my documents inquiry, and they sent me to a website which I've already been at that sent me to their website. So this is where the getting documents in some states are super easy, and in other states suck ass. Because one person sends you one place, and then they send you back, and then they send you back, and they all give you different information because they don't want to be transparent. So it is a thing. So we're going to get into this first one. We're going to read what this says. And then we're going to see. And I'm not a fan of Fox News. This was just the first one that was up that I managed, or I had open, that I managed to read. So we are going to get into this. And then we are going to get into how different media outlets spin different facts and what they leave out. It's a thing. All right. Frisco stabbing suspect says he did it in self-defense. Track meet stabbing suspect, I did it. This is written on April 4th, too, so this was Friday. So we also have to remember when things were written and if they were updated or not with the latest information. Because a lot of times, and this is how we have to look at all, this is how we have to look at every online article, because they will not give you some information. And Flashman, you and I have been back and forth on this as to why we have to read 4 different articles to get all the facts. But Flashman, not tomorrow, but Wednesday, we're probably going to start watching that Zachary Young trial again so we can make fun of CNN, because that's my favorite thing to do in life. All right. The 17-year-old suspect accused of fatally stabbing another student at Frisco ISD track meet admitted to the crime because he put his hands on me, according to an arrest report. And people are picking and choosing what they're choosing out of this arrest affidavit, which is one of the reasons that I really like to read the documents, to know what the police said. And not like I'm in love with the police either. They have their own fair share of bullshit to deal with. But generally, one officer is okay to deal with. Witnesses told police that 2 students got into a fight over where the suspect was sitting. They saw the suspect pull a knife out of his bag after the victim tried to push him out of the space. While being arrested, the suspect asked officers what happened, if what happened could be considered self-defense. Here's the thing with self-defense. In most states, and I have to look up the self-defense statutes in Texas, because in most states, when you provoke somebody, it is no longer self-defense. If you antagonize, you say, put your hands on me and see what happens, it no longer becomes self-defense because you are initiating contact. So a knife is deadly force. We cannot always use deadly force. There's times when it's appropriate. You'd better be ready to convince a judge and jury. Yeah. And I think too many people try to hide behind the self-defense for when someone's being an ass to them. And I'm sorry, whatever this Austin Metcalf, the person that got unalived, whatever he said, you cannot use deadly force just because someone's being an asshole to you. Like, you cannot use self-defense just because someone's being an asshole. It's just not. you just can't. Like it if we went around and unalived everybody who was an asshole to us, we would have a lot more problems than we do. And this is why the self-defense statutes are so rigid, because of the fact that we have situations like this, or situations like, well, Sarah Boone wasn't self-defense, but if she could have claimed self-defense, she would have. Colin Griffith, self-defense. Yeah, the world would be emptied of, yes, emptied of humans. In the world of Sarah Boone, in the words of Sarah Boone, not intentional. Yeah. And I'm not going to make inferences on what was said or what was not said. I'm just going to simply read. I don't tell people on this channel what they should or should not think or what they should or should not do. I give people the evidence and the facts, and I let y'all make some inferences of your own. And some of the inferences that have been made by the general population on Twitter, which is the cesspool of the world, have been very I am just going to say one thing. Of everything I've read about this case, I have no doubt that this was not racially motivated. However, you see talking heads that consider themselves journalists, and someone can argue what is or what is not a journalist. I don't give two flying fucks. However, like, and Jeffrey, I appreciate that. That's why people don't like you. You give facts and they can't bask safely in their feelings when attacked so brutally. Yeah, and your feelings, nobody really gives a shit about your feelings. Sorry, that's not how the world works. That's how people want the world to work. But if everybody paid attention to everybody's feelings all the fucking time, the world would never get anywhere, because feelings can change minute to minute. Facts generally take time, are long lasting, and if they change, it's because they've been proved false. You're like, I was in a really bad mood when I started this stream. I've been in a really bad mood all morning. I'm pretty sure that I will not be in a bad mood when I finish this stream. Facts can, or feelings can change minute to minute. Feeling or facts don't really change that quickly. And hey, Sarah Boone Suitcase. Damn, who invoked my name? It's too damn early and I still smell. Oh yes, the person who is the suspect in this case is African American, and I don't think race had shit to do with this. I think this was just two teenage boys. Like, I wish the world would stop. I wish the world would stop making everything about race. Sometimes people just suck. Sometimes people get into arguments and shit happens, not because of race. I don't think that this had anything to do with race. But we're going to get into why I'm pissed at the media and some pundits on Twitter, that just because you are on Twitter does not make you a damn journalist. I am not a journalist. I don't want to be a journalist, because if I'm a journalist, I'm held to standards. And no, like, I want to do what I want when I want. Like, well, someone gave a shit. No one ever bothered to clean me up. I'm so sorry, Sarah Boone Suitcase. I am so sorry. It's almost if kids are dumb. But here's the problem. As parents, you need to tell your kids that they're stupid. You need to tell your kids that they don't know shit about the world. And it's okay to nicely tell them that they don't know shit. My parents did it to me all the time. My parents did that shit to me all the time. And from that, it's one of those things of, I learned that I don't know everything, and it's okay to not know everything. It's just when you admit that you don't know something, and to try to spin this and make money off of it, which is another thing, because all these media outlets get clicks based on how many clicks they get. So the more drama that is involved, and I get it, like some of the my stuff for like the What the Hales case, for example, is clickbait. Well, I try to come up with a catchy title or something like that, because it's the more clicks you get, the more views you get, the more money you make. I'm small YouTuber, so for me it's pennies, but for media outlets that get thousands and millions of clicks, it is a lot of money. Always follow the money. Always follow the money. The 17-year-old accused of fatally stabbing a Frisco student athlete during a track meet allegedly admitted to the crime. He also asked officers if his actions could be considered self-defense, according to a newly released arrest report. What we know: Wednesday morning, 17-year-old Austin Metcalf, a junior at Memorial High School in Frisco, was killed at a UIL District 11 or 25A track meet at, and I'm going to butcher this name, Kendall Stadium. Police said a student from Centennial High School in Frisco, a 17-year-old Carmelo Anthony, no relation to the basketball player, stabbed Metcalf in the chest during a fight. Anthony was arrested and now charged with first-degree murder. He's at the Collin County Jail on a $1 million bond, and that was the arrest record that we looked at. Yeah. What we don't know, it's still not clear how Anthony was able to bring the knife into the Frisco ISD Stadium or why he had it with him. And it is Texas. So I know down here, I always carry a knife with me. Not so much for self-defense, but I get open boxes, I need to open packages, and I don't feel like going to to find scissors, so I just pull what's in my pocket out of my pocket. Like it's a common thing in most places, but we also don't know what the knife looked like, if it was a pocket knife or if it was like a kitchen knife, because there's a difference. Yeah. It seems to me most news media was better before social media. Now they just care who gets a story out first before all the facts are in. Everyone's just in the fast lane these days. Yes, and it's also people that are not journalists, in the sense of don't have any education or background or a job in journalism, who get online, get a following, and then spew things as facts that they don't know for sure. So it's interesting. What we know: newly released arrest report details the interactions police had with Anthony in the moments following the fatal stabbing. According to the court document, witnesses pointed him out to a school resource officer, who was the first to arrive on the scene. The officer spotted Anthony on the north end of the track. I gave the suspect instructions to keep his hands up in the air. During this time, the suspect said verbally out loud, "I was protecting myself," the report states. The suspect also told officer he put his hands on me. After the officer mentioned to others that he had the alleged suspect in custody, the report states Anthony said, "I'm not alleged, I did it." I'm wondering if when this gets to court, if they're going to, his defense attorneys are trying to, or would try to get that out, because technically he was not read his rights. So I'm wondering if that will be a fight. Not saying that it will be thrown out. I'm just saying what defense attorneys, yeah. I think I've heard, and this is not a fact, but I've heard from people who go to track meets, and I haven't been in high school in 21 years. However, most schools have it. And it's also been said that some people go under other schools' tents, which based on what I've read, I believe is the basis of the disagreement between the two boys, was that this guy was in a tent that was not his school's. So yeah. So they were at a track meet, and it's Texas and it's hot. So I'm pretty sure they all had tents for their athletes, for shade, in the stands for the spectators. Thank you. Words are eluding me this morning. He put his hands on me. I told him not to. Anthony continued as officers walked him out of the stadium in handcuffs to the squad car. And I'm sorry, when you say put your hands on me, I dare you, to a 17-year-old boy, what are they going to do? Like, I tell a 2-year-old not to put her hands on me and not to hit me. And what's the first thing she does after I tell her not to hit me? She freaking hits me. So there's not a big difference mentally between toddlers and teenagers. Toddlers don't know any better. Teenagers should know any better, but still don't have that emotional regulation. Developmentally, there's not a huge difference. Almost if he was looking for trouble. Yeah, yeah. It's almost as them. Yeah, and those are fighting words. Yeah. Want advice on raising teens? Raise a 2 or 3-year-old. Yeah, there's not much difference developmentally. I mean, there's a lot of difference, don't get me wrong. But mentally, there are emotional regulation problems in 2 to 3-year-olds, 2 to 5-year-olds, and 12 to 16. There's not a huge difference, except for the fact that the 12 to 15-year-old, just the teenager in general, one has more life experience, has learned things, has more physical capability. I'm sorry, I'm watching Baby Squid do some interesting things right now. She has a couch that, like, a chair that pulls out into like a little like couch, little like bed, and she likes to pull herself underneath it. And yeah. Toddlers and teens need our help, and we'll bite our heads off when we help. Yes. Toddlers and teens both think they are capable of doing more than they actually are. Just different aspects of things that they think they're more capable of, but it's the emotional regulation issues. A 2 to 3-year-old never had to do it. A 12 to 15-year-old is post puberty and now thinks they can do more and have more capabilities than they really are. Yeah, and you can tell you can also tell that this is a different generation, because in my day, you went out to the parking lot and you pushed a bitch and you broke her collarbone. And not saying that happened to me. Yeah. I'm not saying that I did that. My mother's sitting here looking at me like, yeah, you did that. I got in my first fight in 2nd grade during a game of tag. Somebody pushed me. I pushed them back. And they said, what are you going to do about it? And I pushed them down and I sat on them and said, now I did something about it. You can ask my mother. She's sitting right here. That's exactly what I did, because even though it was in 2nd grade, it was 34 years ago, I've never lived that shit down. So I hear about my first fight all the time. And I was a fighting person. I liked to fight. I liked a good fight. Now I just troll because fighting's not worth it, but I troll just to piss people off because it's hilarious. Um, when I was a teen, not too long ago, I was cautious, and maybe it had something to do with my vision impairment, or I just weird. It might have been your vision impairment, but you also strike me as the kind of person that is a better person than most teens these days. Uh, no, can't say I was a very tough cookie, but I didn't start fights. But my dad told me a long time ago, if you're ever going to start a fight, don't ever start a fight. But if a fight gets started, you make sure you end that shit. And I took that to yeah. We knew you were guilty the minute you said it. Yeah, I didn't mean to. She punched me and I pushed her and she just fell awkwardly. That's my story and I'm sticking to it. Because that's honestly how I remember it. I don't remember ever like hitting her, but I got in trouble. But not as bad as she did. Because Squid was curb stomping people. No. Oh, Spawn, I've only been in one bar fight. And I won that shit too. You can ask my dad about that one. He was there. Because the fight was about him. There's 3 things in life you don't mess with. Well, now 4. My money is 1. People that mess with my money, I get very, very agitated about. People that steal from me. And it was my 3 M's: my mom, my man, and my money. Now it's just my family. But you mess with my family, I will just be a thing. I will just yeah. Spawn, the guy, we were on a pool league and the guy was calling my dad all kinds of names. And I'm sorry, sometimes I think my dad is an asshole. However, he is my asshole. And if anybody messes with my father, I get pissed. So I told both of them, because in the interest of fairness, my dad was yelling back, and I told them both to shut the hell up. And my dad can confirm this. And I went over to the guy when he wouldn't shut up, and I put 3 fingers in his chest. And apparently he was either way drunker than I thought, or or I was way stronger than I thought. But those 3 fingers in his chest made him go flying backwards off his bar stool and onto the floor. In which time I knew that I was screwed if he stood up, because he was going to punch me. Because my thing is if you hit a man, expect to be hit like a man. So I put him in a headlock. I went Daniel Penny on his ass until somebody else got him away from me. Because I was not having that. So, yeah. Starting in 3rd grade, I was tall, never got messed with except for twice. And that was the days when she was Supergirl. I was like 3rd. Angel, what's up?
I think she choked.
Oh, the water? Okay. Oh, hold on 1 second, guys. Little girl had too much water at one time, and it went down the wrong.
Come on, let's go in the kitchen.
It went down the wrong pipe. So. Oh, poor baby. Yeah, was it LeBron? He touched him and he flew backwards. No, and that was my one and only fight in the bar, and that was it. Yeah, I hate that, and it's painful, and because she's really never experienced it before, it freaks her out, and she thinks that it's going to be the worst thing she's ever going to experience. Yeah, that hurts, and no matter how old you get, you have it happen. Yeah. And when you're that little and you don't know what's happening, it's scary. But luckily, Nana is here to go and make it all better. Hey, Juliet. You got in a few fights. Yeah, it happens to the best of us. It's just whether we can like learn from it and not do it again. That's yeah. Getting back to this. The report states Anthony also asked the officers, is he going to be okay? Dude, you stabbed him in the heart. Like, you stabbed him in the heart. Like, that is not a place where you get over and you're okay. And he asked if what happened could be considered self-defense. The officers took pictures of blood on Anthony's hands as evidence. They did not find a knife on him. So not only did he stab him, but he somewhere along the lines dropped or got rid of the weapon. Which, to me, if it's self-defense, yeah, it's very quick. Oh yeah, but if anyone comes for my children, that will be it. I will lose my mind. Oh yeah. Yeah, you don't go after children. You definitely don't go after children, and you sure as shit don't go after my children or child. Like, yeah, I saw footage of a young man in the UK stab another kid in the heart. He was unalived before he hit the ground. Yeah. It doesn't take much. So here's witness statements. The arrest report also provides details from several witnesses about the events leading up to the stabbing. First, Memorial High School witness, a member of the Memorial High School track team, told police he was sitting under the Memorial High School pop-up tent with the rest of his team. The victim and the suspect were sitting nearby. So apparently this is a pretty big tent. If you can get your entire track team and others underneath it. Anthony was from Centennial High School and was sitting under the Memorial High School tent. The victim had told Anthony that he needed to move out from under their team's tent, and Anthony grabbed his bag, opened it, reached inside, proceeded to tell the victim, "Touch me and see what happens." No one really thought Anthony really had any weapons in his bag, and the victim proceeded to touch Anthony, and then Anthony told the victim to punch him and see what happens. I mean, this is where this witness statement makes the self-defense claim kind of crappy. Like, oh yeah, you don't ever, and especially a child that is in the process of learning something, like, I would call adults dumb all the time because adults had the opportunity to learn and chose not to. Children haven't had the time or the ability or basically the time to learn things. So you don't ever call a child stupid. Like, you don't ever call a child stupid. Like, no. An adult, I will call stupid because they've obviously had the time to figure things out and are willfully ignorant. It's okay to be ignorant too, because it's okay not to know things, but to be willfully ignorant and claim you do know things is what I have a problem with. Yeah, that's not self-defense. It's premeditated. He was prepared to use the weapon, did not grab it in a frenzy. And there's the $1 million. Yeah. My daughter fed, clean, not tired, would cry. So I cried louder. She got louder and I got louder. Volume got extremely loud until she fell laughing. Yeah, that was this morning too. We have a problem with diaper changes. She doesn't like her diaper changed, yet she still is fighting going to be potty trained. But she screams at me, so I scream at her. Like, she'll go, ah, so I do the same thing, and it's just a matter of like who can outlast the other one. And I won because she started laughing like it was funny, and I'm like, yep, little distraction goes a long way. All right. Good for your mom. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, I do, but like, oh, Juliet, she has a global developmental delay and couldn't answer a question. Oh my God. And I'm sorry, developmental delays are not the individual's fault. Like, it's not something they asked for. So that's even worse. Like, That's even worse. Oh my God. That makes it worse than what I originally thought. Ugh. 2 convicted PDF files were whacked a couple days ago in an Arizona prison. For some reason, I'm not sympathetic. Yeah. 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 Not many people do. Trust me, adults don't either. Ask me how I know that one. All right. A short time later, the victim grabbed Anthony to tell him to move, and Anthony pulled out what the witness recalled as a black knife and stabbed the victim once in the chest and then ran away. If it was self-defense, my first thing is I know that I would be freaking out like, oh my God, what did I do? And I would stay. I wouldn't run. The running tells me he knows he did something wrong. The witness did not know Anthony, but he knew he was a Centennial student, which probably was like, hey, guys, you're not supposed to be here. This is our tent. Second Memorial High School witness, police pulled the victim's twin brother and Second Memorial High School track team member into the locker room to take their statements because it was raining heavily by that time. The officer who interviewed them noted that Hunter Metcalf was still hysterical and could not talk. That is the victim's twin brother. I attempted to ask them both what had happened. I could not really get anything out of Hunter, but the second witness stated he wanted to speak. I asked him what happened. He stated they were all sitting on the bleachers under the Memorial High School tent when another male who he did not know walked over and sat under the tent. The witness then said the victim told this male since he did not go to Memorial, he had to leave the tent. Fair. Like, fair. Yeah, but things were different back then. When I went to high school, people had, pew-pew racks on the back of their trucks with pew-pews in them, and nobody said a thing because it wasn't a big deal. It was starting to be a big deal because Columbine was about that time. But, yeah. And I went to 3 high schools in 3 different states, so I feel like I have the gamut on different schools in different areas of the country. All right. The witness then said the victim told this male since he did not go to Memorial, he had to leave the tent. The victim and the male went back and forth, and then the victim stood up and pushed the male to get him out of the tent. The witness had said during this time of arguing, the male was reaching around in his bag he had. Oh, that right there also goes against self-defense because, and I'm sorry, like if all he had to do, if he really didn't want confrontation, was leave the tent. Like, honestly, he could have been pissed and still pissed off, but guess what? In order to not make that escalate, kids haven't learned how to talk to each other, and no one seems to know how to de-escalate situations and walk away. Yeah. Some of the schools here still have rifle teams. So, yeah, and that's where we're headed. We're headed to some of that stuff. I have one child that talks and one that doesn't. She's 2 years behind her classmates. Well, at least she's still in school and in class with people her age. Like that's a huge thing. Being in school. It was at the same time the male took out a knife and stabbed the victim and then left the scene. The report states, arrest report also identified about 24 other student athletes from various Frisco ISD high schools and 4 coaches who said they witnessed the stabbing. That's what I would like to see, and I have to see if I can get the arrest affidavit. I am working on, there's a picture of the tent. So they were pretty decent sized tents. And it's like, if you're it was supposed to rain. Okay, so a little background on the weather, and why he might have got under that tent. It was supposed to rain. It was planning on raining. He might have got under there to get out of the weather, not thinking that anybody was going to have a problem with him being there because he didn't go to their school. Apparently, yeah, it's a big tent. So, what we know, victim's family. I actually think this is a very well written article because it says what we know and what we don't know. The victim's family previously told Fox 4 that the fatal stabbing happened just as it was starting to rain at the track meet. The arrest report notes it was raining heavily by the time the police and paramedics arrived at the scene and began to secure it with crime scene tape. One officer reported moving the memorial tent over the victim, and medics were trying to save his life. The officer said he also found the bloody knife in the stands and quickly took pictures of it before the rain could wash the blood away. Another officer found a blue tarp and used it to cover the knife in an effort to preserve the evidence. Because it was windy and raining hard, the officer also grabbed the backpack to weigh down the tarp. He didn't realize it was the suspect's backpack. The officers took cell phones from several of the witnesses. Oh. This is Fox 4. This is a local Fox affiliate. This is not Fox News. This is not Fox News channel. This is Fox 4 from Texas. So there is that too. There are people who have called this, and I have to find the article. I saved it, but I closed my it's here's a article from the Sun. This is a tabloid. However, I think it brings good things to life. And that's the thing. It is national news, but it's national news for the wrong reasons. It's just Your Honor, my client was rummaging for the knife so he could cut his way out of the tent. He's POS lawyer, probably. Yeah, it's one of those, like, it is one of those situations that's, yeah. So here's the article from the Sun. I'm not a huge fan of the Sun, but it brings up some pretty interesting rumors that are going on online, because I don't want to give the people whose posts I've seen any attention. So I'd rather get it from here and not the individual post and give their crappy personalities any time. He already has a lawyer. Dark web, truth behind sick Austin Metcalf posts as cops warn public not to share. Those who do risk criminal charges. Impersonators also shared a supposed cause of death, which cops quickly denied. Social media posts have surfaced online from accounts that appeared to impersonate officers, including the chief of police. Rising football star Metcalf died after being stabbed at a track meet on April 2nd, and high school student Carmelo Anthony, 17, has been charged with his murder. David Shilson, the police chief at the Frisco Police Department, warned the public to only trust information from verified sources. Beware of those taking to social media to deliberately spread misinformation, hate, fear, and division. A fictitious account was created using my name, perpetuating misinformation. Shilson warned that it's a criminal third-degree felony offense. The false statement reported by the NBC affiliate KPRC-TV claimed Metcalf sucker punched Anthony. And it's a baseless claim Metcalf smashed Anthony's cell phone. Cops in Frisco warned the public about fake medical examiner's report surfacing online. The fake dossier claims the teen's cause of death was an MDMA overdose. Authorities have not disclosed Metcalf's cause of death at any point during their probe. although for being stabbed in the heart, one could assume there's two major organs in that area, the heart and the lungs, and both of which are needed to sustain life. Any information currently found online is false. Anthony was arrested following the stabbing at the stadium. 2 teens did not attend the same school in the city. Cops found the bloodied knife in the bleachers. Senseless killing. Metcalf's dad, Jeff, said there had been a dispute over a seat before the chaos unfolded. When he was being quizzed by cops, an officer referred to him as the alleged suspect, and he made the stark admission, according to the arrest report, that I'm not alleged, I did it. And he also claimed to cops that he was acting in self-defense. Anthony also alleged that Metcalf had put his hands on him. Hold on one second. In the heart, that's cold and calculating. Yeah. Yep. There's that. So, here I thought Good was a bit quiet today. Just suddenly had my volume snap up. Apparently my speaker's freezing. Oh no. Yep, definitely in the news for the wrong reasons. Another officer claimed that Anthony was hysterical when being taken away from the sports venue. The stabbing has left Metcalf's family reeling. It was senseless. Metcalf's twin brother, Hunter, told ABC affiliate. Don't know why a person would do that to someone just over that little argument. It's crazy in this world nowadays how people just up and do that. Yeah, it's yeah. And the fact that his family made I just well, they have to say alleged suspect in the cop was like the alleged suspect because it was a track meet. He ran away. Like it could have been anybody, and they want to make sure they got the right guy, so they call him alleged until it's proven that he was the one that was there. It's interesting to say the least. So there's and I can't remember where I put it, so I have to look. Sorry. The kid's dad, the Carmelo Anthony, his dad, I guess they started a GoFundMe. It's yeah, but they didn't this was right after it when they were taking him into custody. Gwinnett is one of the, I believe it's one of the counties that makes up Atlanta. So there's your answer on that one. Here we have this one. This is just a yep. He's the alleged suspect until they know it was him. He's the suspect with an alleged crime until the trial. Yep. It's just one of those, like, it's, I don't know. It's just shitty all around. But once I get the arrest affidavit, we will be reading that. And this is a one that I am going to keep tabs on. Just because of not the actual crime, because yes, the crime is sad. A kid stabbed another kid. But it's what the media has done to spin the narrative of of how this happened, why this happened, and who it happened to, is just, yeah. Dad of teen accused of fatally stabbing Texas football star Austin Metcalf says son was not the aggressor. Well, when you say don't put your hands on me, or put your hands on me and see what happens, that right there, them's fighting words. And that shows you escalated the situation. He might have come up and been, Austin might have come up and been a very big asshole and said, you need to get the hell out of our tent. You're not from our school, and kind of been rude about it. But words, we've transitioned into words hurt. Words don't hurt, fists hurt. What happened to that phrase, sticks and stones may break my bones, but words will never hurt me? When someone says something rude to you, say, okay, you are fucking stupid, and move on. Like, yeah. I think it's from the same mentality. Everyone gets an award. Yeah, it's one of those, like, I think the everyone gets an award kind of, yeah. Like, I got an award. I got third place in something that there was only like 4 people, and I got third place, and they gave me a ribbon, and I threw it away because it was like I didn't win and there wasn't enough people. It's not like there was like 8 or 10 people where I can say I literally, like, I beat one person. That was not winning. Like, everyone has a father of a Texas teen accused of fatally stabbing a football star from a rival school over a seat at the stadium says his son is a good kid who was provoked to violence. Everyone has already made their assumptions about my son, but he's not what they're making him out to be, Andrew Anthony told to the Post. Carmelo Anthony was arrested Wednesday for allegedly killing 16-year-old Austin Miller. Then this is where, like, this is from MSN. Austin Miller. His name is Austin Metcalf. Like, get your stuff right. Leaving him die in his twin brother's arms. And if they screw up something as simple as his name, that is all over the news, what would they do? Like, what else would they screw up? He's a good kid. He works 2 jobs. He's an A student, has a 3.7 GPA. And I've seen things online from people saying he had a 1.2, a 1.1, and a 1.3, and that's where he got the 3.7 from, which is still only 3.6. Anthony insisted his son didn't instigate the tragic brawl over a seat at the stadium in Frisco, Texas, where the boys' schools had met for a track meet. He was not the aggressor. He was not the one who started it. Maybe not with words, but physically, he was the one who started it. I don't know. I don't think so. Sticks and stones truly hate word police. Like, Gerda can't spell the other word. Yeah, it's sticks are now sharpened and stones are launched. Yeah, that's. I gotta check updates on that Waukesha teen. I think his preliminary hearing is on Wednesday. I think I heard about that. Yeah. Anthony has also extended sympathy to Miller. See, they screwed it up. Metcalf's family. I feel bad for the other parents and family, and words can't explain how both families have been affected by this tragedy. Like y'all just, it's bad. It's bad. Like, and there has been people out there calling, and I'll just say it because I'm not going to give them attention, but calling Austin a white supremacist, and it was racially motivated. And I'm like, no, I'm pretty sure it was motivated by the fact that he didn't go to that school. I'm pretty sure. Like, I'm convinced race had nothing to do with this, and yet here we are, making it all about, some people making it all about race. Here's the kicker, though. This is what I have a problem with, and my internet is being slow. So, this is what I have a big problem with right here. Oh, they actually removed it. There was a GoFundMe. Yeah, I remember. I remember you sent it to me. I thought I remember seeing something about the date that the preliminary hearing was, but I can't remember. They had a GoFundMe. Yeah, and I'm glad GoFundMe took it down, but they had raised like $180,000. I think was the last time I saw it. Oh, here we go. They also started a Give Send Go. Yeah. And this is how I know they're lying about the GPA. This is how I know they're lying. Somebody's lying. It's just who. Justice for Carmelo Anthony. Help Carmelo Anthony fight for justice and support his family. We come to you with heavy hearts but unwavering faith, asking for your support for Carmelo Anthony and his family during an unimaginable trial. At just 17 years old, Carmelo, a bright, respectful young man with a 4.0 GPA. Yeah. And how do they spin this? A tragic altercation that changed everything. Well, you unalived somebody. Carmelo is not the monster some narrative paint him to be. He's a son, a brother, a student athlete with no prior record who stood his ground in a moment of fear and confusion while he was actively searching through his bag. Oh my God. Nope. Yeah. Nobody can just walk away. And that's why I just don't pay attention to people that like hate me and want to be rude and like condescending and call me stupid and like, you know, call me a bitch. I'm like, okay, like you do you. Bye. Have a nice day. Like I will walk away until people come to me. And if y'all decide to come here, this person who donated. Hang in there, guys, and God bless. No one ever should have to be physically attacked without consequence. He was not physically attacked. He asked for it. Yeah. And this one has raised $370. Like, yeah, I don't think Dahmer had quite the normal childhood that everybody thinks he did. But that's just a, yeah. The entitlement, the only reason to be under an opposing team's tent is to cause problems and attitude. He had no reason to be under someone else's tent. The only plain devil's advocate, the weather, the fact that it was supposed to start raining, there is a chance, and I'm giving he the benefit of the doubt, there is a chance that he went under there to escape the rain. Like, playing devil's advocate and asking why he was under there and trying to come up with a valid reason why he was under there. It was starting to rain. And apparently it was raining pretty heavy by the time the cops got there. So, like, there is a chance. I'm not saying it's true. I'm not saying it's not. This is pure speculation. But playing devil's advocate, it's a playing devil's advocate could be the reason he was under that tent was to get out of the rain. Yeah, this is what I have a problem with that. I know that legal expenses are expensive, obviously, but like I just feel like it's his family and people that want to support him trying to cause problems where there are none. But that's just me. All right. This is I just if you're going to be open and honest about it, like say don't say that he's a good kid. Say this happened, we need help with legal expenses. for his defense. Don't try to sugarcoat it. And that's what I hate about all these like GoFundMe's. It's like, don't try to sugarcoat it and say he was a good kid, he did this. Say he got into a situation that we wish he wouldn't have gotten into, and now we need to defend. Like, yeah, that no, but Dahmer showed signs of psychosis from an early age. And the places that he went and hung out were not the most upstanding. Hey, Mom, you knew where the bar was that Dahmer hung out at, right?
Mm-hmm.
It was like down the street from your house, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the bar that Dahmer hung out at was down the street from my mom's house. So yeah. So there's that. It wasn't down the street from my house, was it? Okay, it was before my time. Okay, that one was before my time. If things actually go to court, we should have a lunch meetup in Gainesville. Gainesville is only 3 hours from here, so I could do a day trip. Possibly. My mom might have to take the day off and watch the little, but I could possibly do a day trip down there. But this is one of the reasons that I wanted to talk about this case is not so much the actual facts of the case. It's how the media and how our society takes stuff and makes it something it's not. And Flash fan, I understand where you're coming from. It's just because they weren't abused by their family didn't mean they were normal as kids. I think he was, from being in the same city as him, I have a different perspective. But that being said, hey Mom.
What?
JKD Buck has a comment for you. Dahmer kept a blender on his front porch, always greeted people with a handshake. Gross. Kind of funny, but gross. Gross.
No, but everybody could smell something was coming out of his apartment.
Yeah, they call where his apartment was the Devil's Playground.
Mama. And he worked for Ambrosia Chocolate.
Oh, he worked for a chocolate company. Yeah, I forgot about that. All right. On that note, I have to get going. It is family time. We got in real life stuff to do. Mama Squid's on spring break this week, and in real life stuff is going to take precedence. I might do a stream this afternoon if anything happens in the major drama case, because MLS's response to Jeremy is due today. We will see if different counties. Dahmer was Milwaukee County and like Bayview area, which is a suburb of Milwaukee, which I actually lived in when I was a kid.
Not far from downtown.
Yeah, it's not far from downtown Milwaukee, but the parade route with downtown Waukesha, which is about 45 minutes west. So, it's but on that note, if anything happens today, I will probably read it. Captain Kern is doing a 10K subscribers success stream tonight, and I will probably be joining him. It's just a matter of when. I have to wait until the little is either in her room asleep or is at least calm and ready for bed. Also, tomorrow morning, I won't be doing a stream in the morning because we have dentist appointments tomorrow. You get to go see Dr. Mike tomorrow. Yeah. So I won't be doing this, and then tomorrow night I work. So we will probably not do a stream tomorrow. If we do, it'll be in the afternoon. And then Wednesday, we're going to start talking about the CNN defamation trial again, because we really need to watch and make fun of CNN, because that's the easiest thing to do, and it's kind of fun. Okay. Okay. All right. Are you ready to go play?
No.
You're not? You don't want to go play outside? Get shoes on? All right, guys. I will shame on me, but if someone already has life, why do more? I know, waste of money. I don't know. And there's a whole bunch of questions that could be seen or could be asked about things that some I know, some I'm curious about, and then some I just don't want to know. But y'all have a great day. We will see you on the next one. You want to say bye?
Bye.
Say bye.